So this is a little segment I'm calling Direct Indirection. My name is Kyle LaPointe. I'm the host of a fun Dynasty podcast called Dynasty Self Help. We help you analyze your team, your game, and yourself in an effort to provide you a more rich and fun hobby experience. So today I'm going to examine 10 key aspects of your Shark Tank 2 fantasy football team and follow up that with a question. Please keep in mind that I'm going to be very direct, to the point, and brutally honest, and the questions are not necessarily going to be easy. Is that okay?
Of course.
All right. So before we get into the meat of this potato, I'd like to ask you a few things about you. What's your real life name?
Dwight Peoples.
All right.
In real life.
In real life, Dwight Peoples. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Well, in fake life, in Shark Tank 2, we all had to choose a name that was no guts, no glory, a daredevil. So what was your chosen name and why?
Oh, it was Evel Knievel, man. I was surprised that it was still available. I got in probably 40 or 50. I was probably the 40 or 50th person to choose my name and was surprised that nobody took the most iconic daredevil of all time. I was shocked. I was like,
well,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe sometimes it's too obvious and everybody thinks somebody's going to take it, so they don't even bother. But that's a good one, man. Yeah. Evel Knievel is one of the best. So whereabouts in this world do you live?
Lansing, Michigan area, man. So
nice.
Out in the middle of nowhere. Stuck out here in the middle of nowhere with slow internet. Right. Quarantined with my kids. And yeah, it's fun. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's been interesting with the quarantine.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's getting everybody. So far, I've done these interviews with people from California, people from Canada, Chicago, over there on the East Coast as well, New Jersey. I mean, we're all over the place, and Australia. You know, so everybody's pretty much in the same boat. You know, this is a worldwide deal, and so we're all affected in somewhat the same way, maybe a little different, a week apart, 2 weeks apart, but it's getting everybody. So yeah, I actually was born in Mount Clemens, north of Detroit. But we moved down here to Texas when I was 2, so I don't have a lot of memories up there, but I do have a lot of family. So we get up there every now and again, so it's pretty fun.
All right.
But you're in a pretty good beer area of Michigan. I'm a beer guy, so what's your favorite style of beer?
I'm not a huge beer drinker. I do like the style of Blue Moon.
Okay.
So I don't know
Belgian
what you'd
wheat?
even classify. Yeah, that's what you'd even classify that as, yeah. I don't like IPAs pretty much. I think I've tried about 40 and I've liked 2.
Okay.
So I'm not big on the IPA. That's what everybody seems to be pushing toward. Don't get a chance to drink much. I drink one every 2 weeks maybe. So
okay.
I'm not much of a drinker. So.
Totally understandable. Yep. So, Belgian style wheat beer is typically a little sweeter. You know, your hoppy beers are going to be much more bitter and sometimes intensely bitter. If you like the sweeter beers, you know, there's a lot of really good Belgian styles other than just the wit beer that are very tasty. Yep. All right. So final intro question. What is your favorite thing about fantasy hockey?
Hockey? That I don't play it.
All right. Well, that'll work.
No, many years ago I tried it. I just don't follow hockey that closely. Hockey is a sport that I love watching. It's one of the few I actually can watch and not really have any vested interest in. I really enjoy hockey, but I don't know much about it, and I don't know any single player that plays on the Red Wings right now. So,
well, nobody does because they're terrible for the first time in 2 decades. So,
yeah. So I love watching it, but yeah, I don't know much about it. So.
I had to make the decision to choose between the Stars and the Red Wings back in the late 90s. I just couldn't have 2 loves. I couldn't have 2 teams. I always did until they faced each other in the playoffs so many times. And then it was like, all right, I got to divide. I am a hockey player. I've played hockey since I was about 12 years old. So, it's a lot of fun. But don't have I didn't grow up playing it like a lot of the Michigan folk. And so I'm not that good. But, I can play. I can hold my own. It's fun.
Yeah, I do love playing. We used to all gather around and play on frozen lakes and stuff like that, just dinking around. But I was never good at skating. So, yeah,
it's a unfortunate detractor from your ability to play the sport. You basically have to learn how to walk again before you can play that one.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now it's time for the hard-hitting analysis and drama-laden questions. Are you ready?
Go, baby.
All right. Question number 1. Your linebacker core is strong. You have players on many different teams seemed poised for success. In particular, they have strong names, Quan, Judon, and most namely Bobby. What was the full name of the linebacker portrayed in the 2000 classic football film?
Bobby Boucher.
That was 1998. This is Gary Bertier or Julius Campbell from Remember the Titans. I'm sorry. Your quarterbacks range from future backups to future retirees. Stafford has consistently provided stats without substance, and Derek Carr drastically underperforms his extended contract. In a Superflex league, it is typical to start two quarterbacks. From 1970 through 1983, Michigan State only won one game against Michigan. Who was that quarterback?
Good Lord, I have no idea, man.
All right, that would be Ed Smith. And he was, looking at his stats, he was a stud, man. 3-year starter, good player. All right, so you have opted to take Amari Cooper. His skill set is legendary, and he has been a productive professional. He now has a massive and bloated contract for the always amazing Dallas Cowboys. Many players have suffered setbacks or reduction in stats after signing record-high contracts. What company had a slogan, "Don't worry, unless they're strange, your kids will eat them"?
Soylent Green? I have no idea.
No, this was Life Cereal. Yes, an actual advertising campaign said, "Don't worry, unless they're strange, your kids will eat them." This is not a Me Too generation back then.
Man, I would have loved to have been in that meeting to come up with that slogan.
Well, that's the winner. And, which ones got thrown in the trash can and didn't get chosen when that's the winner?
Exactly. Mikey likes it. I don't know. That's the only one I can remember. Oh, that's crazy.
All right. On March 8th, you made a trade with Hanson Brothers. Hanson Brothers is looking like a formidable and dangerous opponent. It would appear that it should be regretful that you would have made a trade to make his team even better. On the topic of trades, who was the first woman to lead a British trade union?
Lord, man. I'm glad I had no preparation for this. Margaret Thatcher. I don't know.
Brenda Dean. Brenda Dean would be the answer. Okay.
This is great. I'm trying to mentally prepare for this, and I have no clue. So this is fun. I phone a friend.
Right.
So they can get it wrong for me.
Can I eliminate some people here? Let's do something. No multiple choice. All right. So college players often do not transition from the NCAA ranks to the NFL ranks. It takes a trained eye mixed with data-driven analysis to achieve high hit rates on these players. It is always a positive when these things come together and a successful NFL pro is found. You have 33 players on your roster. Can you name at least one that is a total bust?
At least one that will be a total bust? Oh, my God, man. Looks like Kerryon Johnson's going to be at the rate he's going. I don't know.
So that was kind of a trick question. I accept that answer. I would have accepted any player on your roster or all of the players on your roster. Okay, so your tight end position seems to be weakest of all. Many players and many people take a position to focus on other aspects of their team and leave a glaring weakness to address at a later date. You have a tight end who plays for the Raiders and one for the Vikings. If you had a tight end for a different team that loots and plunders, what would his name be?
Cameron Brate.
There you go. Brate or Howard. I would have accepted Howard as well. Okay. So you got that one on the board. All right. You have made sound investments with purchases and sales like turning Juju into $70 after only having invested $209.63 into him a few weeks prior. Buy high, sell low has often been the moniker of many failed Wall Street brokers. In 2013, a movie was made called The Wolf of Wall Street with notable stars. Who was the star of the movie Wall Street?
The movie Wall Street was Michael Douglas.
Nice. All right. You're following it now.
The redirection, yes.
Your team looks like it's coming together, despite looking like you had no plan or hope whatsoever in the first few weeks. You have depth at key positions and can almost start a full roster. Some politicians are known for pivoting when things seem bad and adopting a new stance that was different than their previous position. Who was the person who tape recorded audio of Bill Clinton's oral office sex scandal?
Monica Lewinsky?
That was the one in the office. It was Linda Tripp who recorded it.
Oh,
Linda Tripp.
Gotcha.
All right. Anthony Miller is short and body catches too often. His route running making him open, but he has to have a quarterback who can throw to him. With all of the changes to the quarterbacks in Chicago, what is the side of field that Trubisky cannot throw to?
I feel like a trick question here. The actual field, he's stuck on the sidelines. So,
I'll go with so there was a big scandal where they were saying for a while that Trubisky couldn't throw to his left, like he was.
Right.
They were making fun of him, right? So I would have said left or neither. Neither was also an acceptable answer.
Now it's the whole field, so
right.
He's going to be on the sidelines. So.
All right, so you got another one. Score Dwight on that one. All right. For the 10th and final question, you have 33 players now, which is middle high for the current count in this league. You seem to be winning more and more players as days go by. Winning isn't everything, so it is a positive statement for you to remember this season. If you were to listen to your podcast, Debbie Happy Hour, what would be your preferred podcast software to do that?
I usually listen on Spotify. So
nice.
I don't know. Okay.
All right. Well, that is incorrect. I would have accepted any answer that you didn't say. So, no, I'm going to give you that one. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate your candid and truthful answers and my insightful and hard-hitting analysis.
Thank you. It was fun.